Hey there nation, welcome to the show. We help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is time for another edition of Shadows over Shadespire. This is Battle Report number 5. This is another Clash at Dawn scenario that is fought between my friends Brother Grimm of the Immortulz of the Ironjaws versus younger brother Grom the Paunch of the Crooked Moonz of the Git Mobs. So that's right, ladies and gentlemen, this can kind of be considered a championship gang. Both of these warbands have fought in the previous warband scenarios in our very first round of our campaign. Both of these warbands have won their respective combat rounds, so these guys are the current champions. So it'll be kind of interesting to see exactly what happens. We have the Immortulz, the Ironjaws. Those guys pulled a surprise victory against their opponents who were Stormcast Eternals and kind of repelled into the second round of the campaign. And even more interesting, we have the Crooked Moonz, which are a unit of Moonclan Grots that actually defeated the High Elves when they went up again the last time. So now they're having Git Mobs versus Ironjaws for some green skin on green skin action. So with that being said, we're going to go through the warband list real quick, play some background music, show you a photo of both warbands, and if you guys want to see exactly what they brought, you can kind of pause it and take a look at your own leisure. So with that being said, on to the army lists. Alright, so let's go talk about the scenario rules real quick. In case you're unfamiliar of how this battle report basically works, the Clash at Dawn rules, which do you take a 4x4 table and divide it into 4 quadrants. And each of those 4 quadrants is assigned a number value. You then roll a d6 for each of your units or individual models. On whatever you roll up on a d6, on a 1 through 4, you either put them quadrants number 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if you roll a 5 or 6, you can kind of deploy your troops wherever you want to. So quadrant 1, as you can see, the upper left-hand corner, that is the one where the tower is located at. Quadrant number 2 is the area to the upper right-hand corner where the 3 standing stones are located at. Quadrant number 3 is the bottom left-hand corner where the hill is located, and quadrant number 4 is in the bottom right-hand corner where the village is located at. So we're going to talk about each of the different individual quadrants and talk about where everything is deployed. Alright, so starting with quadrant number 1, as you can see here, we have the Mangler as well as the Bone Breakers. This is a unit from the Crooked Moonz, that is the Night Clan Grot Squig Courier with 3 cave squigs, and they're kind of right in the middle of the ruins. No units from either the Ironjaws or the Moonclan Grots were deployed in quadrant number 2, so we go directly to quadrant number 3. And as you can see on the top of this hill, we have the Immortulz, which are 3 Arboys as well, who are acting as bodyguards for their leader, who is Old Blacktooth. That is the weird knob shaman who's leader of the Ironjaws units. So they're located here on the top of the hill for Brother Grimm's army. And in quadrant number 4 is actually where a majority of the units are located at. Right in the middle of town, you actually have units of the Bloods, which are 3 Ardboys, as well as Braga and Raga. Those are the 2 Brutes. Orc Brutes are also located within the Ironjawz army. They're played right in the middle of the little square there between the 3 buildings. At the same time, however, his brother Grom the Paunch, he also deployed most of his units here as well. On the left-hand corner, of course, you have the those guys are the Backstabbers, which are the unit of 7 Grots who are armed with bows. And the right-hand corner, of course, you have the Ludas, which are also a unit of 7 Grots who are also armed with spears, and his warband general, which is the Red Gobo. He's the guy who's basically in this army. He is his Moonclan Grot warlord. He's located in the bottom right-hand corner as well. And of course, laid off to the side is the Rekka. That is the unit, the army's one fanatic. He's kind of off the table because he's hidden one of the other Moonclan Grot units and he can spring up at any moment. So that being said, because deployment is down and done, we go directly to top of turn number 1 and we roll for initiative. And the initiative goes to the Moonclan Grots. As you can see, for the very first phase of the command phase, my buddy Grom the Paunch decides to use his Ravager's ability, so that way he rolls off on a d6. What a Rampage ability is that every unit within a Destruction Army rolls a d6. They can move that many inches forward. Because his commander has the Ravager command trait from that, you add +2 to that. So you can see here we have a couple of movements, a couple with the what you call the Manglers, as well as the Bonebreakers, move about 5 inches from the middle of town over to the edge of the ruins. So that is where they're located at. At the same time, if you can see in the top left-hand corner of the screen, you have the Backstabbers. My buddy Crown the Paunch decided to use his command ability, which gives these guys double damage on rolls to wound score 6 onto that unit of archers. So they kind of maneuver forward a little bit so that way they can start taking shots off at these Ardboys. And also on the bottom of the screen here, we also have the Ludas. Those guys move up a couple of inches as well. Same thing with the General, the Red Gobo. He also takes a sip from his Battle Bruce. That way he gets +1 to hit as well as +1 to wound whenever he does his attacks. So with Hero phase, or we go directly to the movement phase. I apologize, there is a movement phase because that's what the photos were they're showing up earlier. I forgot to mention that. That's where the combination of the command phase as well as the movement phase. We go directly into the shooting phase. Shooting phase is pretty lackluster for the Crooked Moonz. Basically, only managed to inflict 1 wound onto one of the heroic brutes, that is Raga. And the reason why is because the general used his Moon Prodder ability, managed to stink off a wound on that guy. So with shooting phase over, we go directly to charge phase. And as you can see in this photo, Grom the Paunch takes his entire army over here in the fourth quadrant, and just charges them directly forward. Also, if you notice there too, you can see that the Rekka has also made his breakdown of the unit of archers, which is the Backstabber. So now that unit of Ardboys is now fully in contact. Those 3 Ardboys will have to face on these 15 odd Moonclan Goblins in the combat phase. And as you can see in those photos, those Ardboys got slaughtered in the combat phase. Pretty much most of the wounds came from the Fanatic, which is the Rekka, as well as their General, because he has both the Battle Brew with his Moonclan Prodder, as well as his Cave Squig that he gets to use too in close combat as well. They also, wherever guys had any floating wounds, those were other Moonclan Grots also managed to take them out as well. Unfortunately for my buddy Brother Grimm, he just rolled horribly during that combat phase, was unable to get any wounds off, unfortunately for him. But my other friend, Grom the Paunch, he just rolled out of the box and destroyed those guys. So right off the bat, 3 members of the Immortulz, oh sorry, not the Immortulz, of the Immortulz are not going to be coming out through this battle report. And that takes us to the bottom of turn number 2 for the Ironjawz. As you can see, one of the Ardboys that was originally deployed this unit has gone missing, and the reason why is because during the Battle Shock phase, since they lost 3 members of their gang, another guy took off for the hills. Also, this photo is taken directly after the command phase. As you can see in this one, basically, Brother Grimm decides to cast Arcade Shielding onto his Shaman since he's out of range for any of his more offensive spells. So because of that, we go directly to the movement phase. And the movement phase, the Immortulz as well as his old Blacktooth decide to run down from the hill and start kind of making their way towards that quadrant where the village is located at in quadrant number 4. So that makes the movement phase here on this side of the board. And at the same time, Raga and Draga, they both kind of, they kind of position themselves in such a way so that way they can start charging off into those Night Goblins so that way they can fight those guys in the combat phase. And during the charge phase, both Raga and Braga charge directly into that unit of the Backstabbers, which are the shooting Night Goblins, as well as the Fanatic, and they engage in close combat. Unfortunately for Brother Grimm, he only managed to kill 1 Night Goblin and during the exchange of close combat with these brutes. At the same time, Grom the Paunch was able to inflict any additional wounds onto these Orug brutes either. So basically, both groups just kind of stared at each other blindly, managed to kill 1 Gobo the whole entire process. So that being said, we go directly to top of turn number 2, and we also roll off for initiative on that one. And as you can see, this photo is taken directly after the movement phase as well as the command phase for the Moonclan Grots. Pretty much, his Grom the Paunch takes a sip for his Battle Brew for his General, also puts his command ability onto that unit of Night Goblins as well, the Archers, so that they can cause double damage on rolls 6s. He also uses Rampager's ability as well as movement ability to move down his as you can see, his Cave Squigs as well as the Squig Herder, they're kind of sprinting across the battlefield past that little hill, past the village of huts towards the main center of the board, so that way they can start engaging the Shaman as well as his 2 bodyguards of Ardboys. At the same time, Ground the Paunch does a little bit of creative maneuvering where he has his Spearman unit. The looters kind of run interference and kind of sneak up behind those Mega Knobs, not the Mega Knobs, I'm sorry, those Orug Brutes. At the same time, also puts his general into the flank of those Brutes as well, so that way he can charge them in during close combat. And as you can see, we got the little skull icon next to those archers, so that way if they roll a 6-2 and they do double damage as well. So that pretty much makes the move phase on this one. During the shooting phase, the general, the Red Gull, will also manage to inflict another wound onto that Raga, which is the Orug Brute. Managed to put a wound on them. However, the rest of the archers fail to make their shots or fail to wound at the same time. So because of that, we go directly to the charge phase. And in the charge phase, he charges his general right directly to Raga as well, so that way he can engage him in close combat. So that being said, we go directly to the combat phase. And during the combat phase, my buddy Ground the Paunch loses, like, I think, one or two more of his goblins, who are the backstabbers, at that combat exchange. However, the real damage came when the Fanatic basically took Braga and just kind of smashed him to his base elements by using his Fanatic, using that Whirling Dervish attack, and has managed to inflict something like 6 wounds on that guy. 2 of his attacks got off when he rolled off a d6 on that part, so that's absolutely brutal. At the same time, that little Red Gawa character, the Moonclan Grot War Boss, that guy's a beast when you put him with Battle Brew. Not only does he get 4 attacks with his Moon Prodder, he also gets 4 attacks with his little Cave Squid creature. Plus, that guy also deflects D3 wounds every successful hit he has. And because you get the bonuses from the Battle Brew, that thing had made mincemeat out of Raga. Just chew that guy up alive and eat him alive. It was absolutely terrifying to watch that little Moonclan Goblin War Boss kind of pull that off. So that is very, very impressive. I'm actually really impressed with the performance of the Moonclan Grots against Ironjawz, no less, in this Battle Report series. So yeah, these guys are doing very, very good for themselves. So because of that, we go directly to the bottom of turn number 2 for the Ironjaws. And this photo is taken directly after the move phase as well as the command phase. My buddy Brother Grimm decides not to move these Ironjaws and keep them exactly where they're located at, because he's not too eager to send these guys to being chopped or eaten alive by those Moonclan Grots. He does try to cast Foot of Gorkoff, though, and unfortunately for him, because he has the Cursed Tome, if you roll double ones, your commander of the Cursed Tome takes a mortal wound. That's exactly what happened. Brother Grimm rolled Snake Eyes on this part, so because of that, he lost 1 mortal wound on his general, and things are just not looking good at all for the Ironjaws at this point. So that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 3 and we roll for initiative. And the Moonclan Grots get it as well. This picture is taken directly after the command phase, and the reason why I did that one is because my buddy Ground the Paunch just rolled out of the box for his Ravager's ability. He got 8 inches off on that unit of Quave Squigs as well as a Squig Herder. He also puts his command ability to give those guys double damages on a roll of 6 up to wound. So you can see that they kind of curve around that village, and so now they'll be able to move as well as charge in the next move phase as well. At the same time, he runs up his Ludas as well as his Backstabbers as well as the Fanatic and his General, and they're kind of like right next to that church there in the village, and they'll be able to maybe be able to close a distance into these units during their movement phase. It's absolutely terrifying. And that takes directly the move phase. They also move up another 5 inches closer to their opponents. That little Cave Goblin Fanatic, he moves up something like 7 inches as well. So now during the charge phase, if they wanted to, they might be able to swarm this unit of Ironjaws and their general with the entirety of his warband. So that is actually terrifying if you think about it, because the performance these guys have been showing lately, it could be absolutely devastating. During the shooting phase, they managed to put 2 more wounds onto the enemy general for Old Blacktooth. So now that guy is carrying 3 wounds. He's got 2 more wounds left before he dies. The wounds are inflicted by a combination of both the Backstabbers as well as, I think, 1 wound from the Backstabbers and then 1 wound from the general as well, using his Moon Prodder ability, which is actually pretty impressive. So with shooting phase over, we go directly to the charge phase. And as you can see in this photo, basically 3 of the units from the Moonclan Grots made their charges. First of all, we have the Cave Squigs as well as our Squig Herder. They charged into the General Old Blacktooth, so that guy will be engaging those guys in close combat. At the same time, the Ludas, which are the Grots armed with the Spears, as well as the Fanatic, the Wrecker, they made their charges moves as well. So now those units of our boys are also engaged with those Night Goblins as well. So that being said, we go directly to the combat phase. And during the combat phase, those Cave Squigs ate Old Blacktooth alive. They inflict D3 wounds every single time those guys have attacked that land, so because of that, they just chewed up the Jaman like it was nobody's business. At the same time, however, that Arboy did take a wound for his troubles. However, he did manage to kill the Fanatic, the Wrecker, at the same time, and the other Arboy managed to kill 2 more Night Goblins as well. So because of that, with Battle Shock tests, a couple of those Night Goblins kind of ran away as a result of that, and so we have 2 Arboys left that kind of survive for the next round of combat. In the bottom of round number 3 for after the move phase, you can see in this photo, this kind of makes up pretty much the entire phase. What a lot happens is that the Arboy that's carrying a wound, he just charges directly into the unit of Cave Squigs, as well as a Squig Herder, engage those guys in close combat. And of course, that last Arboy, he just kind of continues on his engagement with the rest of the Night Goblins armed with spears. And during the combat phase, he managed to kill one of the cave squigs, but the cave squigs in turn managed to kill off the very last of the Ardboy as well. Also, if you look at that other page on the bottom there, the other Ardboy, he gets a wound for his troubles, but he managed to kill 2 more of the looters as well. So because of that, that takes us directly to the top of turn number 4, and we roll off for initiative. As you can see, this photo is taken directly after the command phase as well as the move phase. Our ravaging ability, Grom the Paunch, moves up his night goblins even faster, and also he gives his command ability back to the unit of cave squigs, that way they get double damage as well. And as you can see in this photo too, the cave squigs and the squig hugger also move into position to kind of take on the last of the Ardboys as well. So that being said, we go directly to the shooting phase. And in the shooting phase, the general, the Red Goat, managed to inflict 3 wounds onto the Ardboy and just kind of blast that guy off the table using his Moonclan Grots in order to do that. So as you can see there, there's no more Ardboys, nothing but Night Goblins left on the table. And as you can see, that takes us directly to the end of the game. And surprisingly, the Moonclan Grots just decimated the Ironjawz. I mean, who would have thought that such a thing like that was actually possible? I'm actually having a blast watching my buddy Grom the Paunch using his Moonclan Grots in these battle reports, because those guys are absolutely kind of dangerous in this game. They have the numbers. They also have some pretty decent stats. When you combine it with some of the command abilities that they're doing for this one, these Moonclan Grots are actually pretty powerful. And that Moonclan Grot war boss, I mean, that guy was totally surprised, especially given Battle Blue. That guy is a beast in close combat as well as in shooting, so it's kind of just to see exactly all that happening. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to the end of the game, and with that we go directly to the post game, because this battle report is now officially over. Alright, so that takes us to the post game for Battle Shadows over Shadespire for Battle Report number 5. This is the post game that was fought between my buddies Brother Grimm as well as Grom the Paunch and the Immortulz of this Ironjaws, as well as the Crooked Moonz of the Moonclan Grots. Let's go and start with the Immortulz first. First of all, they lost this battle, so they got 6 renown points. However, when they rolled for the rewards of battle, they got Heroic Saga, so they got 2 more additional renown points as well. In the end, they decided to spend their points on hiring 2 more Ardboys. Their current renown score is now at 70 points, and they also have 1 spare. And their current record is 1 win as well as 1 loss. Next up, we have the Crooked Moonz. Those guys scored a major victory for defeating their enemy as well as killing their general. They got 10 renown points. For the relics, for the rewards of battle, they ended up rolling an ancient relic ability, so they got the Soul Sever Blade. So now because of that, the general, because he's even deadly now in close combat, he gets to reroll failed wound rolls in order to inflict more damage. In the end, they decided to recruit 1 more Fanatic and also hired 6 more Grots as well. Their current renown total is at 7 points, and their current win is at 2 wins as well as 0 losses. So that's going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen, for Shadows over Shadespire Battle Report number 5. Remember, we do these battle reports every Wednesday for Warband Wednesdays for more Shadows over Shadespire and for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Skirmish battle reports. We also have battle reports taking place every Thursday and Sunday. We alternate every Thursday with Tales of the Underhive, which are Necromunda battle reports, as well as Warhammer 8th Edition. That's our battle reports for that one is called Warhammer the Golden Age. On Sundays, we have Age of the Realms, which are Warhammer Age of Sigmar battle reports, and then alternates with the 9th Saga, which is about 9th Age battle reports. As always, you guys, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Your guys' input is always invaluable as always. And we also have a Facebook page, also Instagram. We also have a Google Plus page. You can go to those pages to stay up to date for all the latest greatest on our hobby. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for this one. We will see you guys on the flip side. You guys stay classy. Peace out.